Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bleaching tone on my brother. He has completely natural hair right now. It's completely virgin. Look how much gray hair he has. He's only 28 and he has all this gray hair. Isn't that freaking crazy? Yes, so we're going to be bleaching this today. He's normally blonde, but sometimes he likes to take a break from the blonde, and now we're dyeing it all back. So I'm going to be using a On the Scalp bleach by Wella. This is their cream lightener. This is what you want to use when you're doing a bleaching tone on your scalp, okay? You do not want to use powder bleach. It's going to irritate you. It's going to burn a lot more, and your scalp is going to be a lot dry. We're going to be using 40 volume today. Yes, 40 volume. His hair is very healthy. His hair is completely virgin, and it's really short, so this will be a perfect volume for what we're doing today. And right now I'm just detangling his hair, just making sure everything is completely free of tangles, because you don't want to have tangles and apply the bleach on top of that, because you will end up with darker spots in the hair where the bleach did not touch. So normally when I bleach and tone Princeton's hair, it's always more resistant in the front. So I've learned to start in the front with him in particular. With anybody else, you can start in the back, and next time if it's more resistant, then just start in the areas that are more resistant. So because his hair is so short, I'm starting on the scalp. Normally you do not want to do that if your hair is like 4 inches or longer, because the hair that's on the scalp, closer to the scalp, is going to come out a lot more brighter. So what you want to do, if their hair is long, you want to start on the mids and ends. If their hair is really damaged, first of all, I wouldn't recommend a bleach and tone. But if their hair is more damaged on the ends, then start in the mids and then do the ends and then do the roots after each application. Okay? If you start on the roots and bring it down to the bottom in one application, your roots are going to be a lot brighter than your ends. So because his hair is short, it's okay. I'm going to comb it all down flat when I'm done anyway, so all the heat will let it lift the same, because we are working with a shorter length. So as you can see, I'm applying the bleach in thin sections from the front and working my way back. You want to get the root as much as possible, but you don't really want to lay the product down on their scalp. Even though this is a cream lightener and it's designed for the scalp, you still want to just apply it mainly on the hair, and don't really go too much on the scalp if you can help it. It's okay if it touches the scalp, but if you can help it, just miss that. So I'm just going to keep applying the color until we give him that grandpa looking hair. We're going to make it flat with the sides, and then I'll show you guys how I color the rest. But in the meantime, you can just watch it sped up. Now I'm starting in the back, and I'm just going to start at the nape of his neck, and I'm going to work my way up in small sections, moving the hair away with my fingers. When you're working with short hair like this, the application go by so fast. I think it literally only took me 10 to 15 minutes to apply this. It was really quick, so you don't really have to worry about all the hair lifting as fast if you're working on shorter hair. So I'm starting on the back, and I'm just gonna go to both sides and even thin sections. You want to make sure your application is really clean and be sure not to get it all over their skin. Because it is bleach and we are using a high volume, and if someone has sensitive skin, at the end of the day it is going to tingle. There's not really much you can do about that. It's going to tingle. So with that being said, make sure you're using a on the scalp bleach, which is cream lightener. It's a lot more oilier. It has a lot of oil in it, so it's going to help to condition, and create a barrier so that it doesn't feel as harsh. And I'm just combing the product through right here to make sure that everything is even. You don't want to skimp on the product. You want to make sure you fully saturate his hair completely and make sure that your application is as even as possible. So now that I'm done with this application, you really want to clean up around their hairline and over their ears to make sure that you are not processing their skin with bleach, because you just don't want that. Make sure everything is nice and clean and neat. And this is how the application looks from all sides. It's very smooth. It has a lot of color on it. So we're going to set a timer for 30 minutes. And after the timer goes off, we're going to come back and reapply while the bleach is on. As you can see, there are yellow spots. The hair is lifting pretty nice and evenly, but what we're gonna do to make sure we only have to bleach his hair one time is you're gonna take a fresh new batch of the exact same mix we mixed in the beginning, okay? So cream lightener, 40 volume, and a fresh new batch. I do not care if you still have color left over in the bowl. Put it out in the sink and mix up a fresh new batch. And this is going to be your opportunity to go over anything that has not lifted throughout that 30 minutes. If you do not do that, when you rinse it out, your hair is going to be lifted at different levels. So this is a way for you to go through and check your work halfway throughout the process. So I'm mixing it out and I'm doing slight partings throughout his head and combing the product through. And anything that looks a little yellow or anything that's just, anything we want to make sure is going to get that full penetration of the color, that's what we're going to reapply on. So sometimes I go over the entire section. Sometimes I focus on, areas that are a little hard to get. For instance, if you're working on someone with really kinky hair, there might be some spots where the hair curled a little bit more, so the brush missed that. So this is going to be your opportunity to go back through and make sure everything has bleach on it, so that when you process for a little bit longer, when you rinse it out, everything is going to be nice and even from root to tip. Okay, I promise you. Mix a new batch of color and go back throughout the entire head and check your work. I promise you it's worth it. You'll only have to bleach your hair one time to get it a level 10 or higher. I'm telling you guys, I do this all the time. This is what you want to do. So you can see at this 30-minute mark how light his hair is lifted. And with that new batch of bleach, while the color is still on, we're going over it to just kind of accelerate it. Now, again, I want to stress this. We are working on 100% virgin hair, and we are working on extremely healthy hair. You do not want to do this whole bleach and tone process. You don't want to put any bleach on your hair at all. If your hair is not healthy, and if you haven't gotten a trim, or if you have previous color on your hair, you want to be really careful, and you're just going to want to keep deep conditioning your hair as often as possible so that you can get your hair to the optimal health for you to get a bleach and tone if this is something you want to do or a client wants to do. Okay, so I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there because we're not trying to have nobody walking out there with chemical burn or like a chemical cut, you know what I mean? So don't bleach your hair if it's not healthy, or your client's hair if it's not healthy. So I'm just going to continue this process until I've gone over every section in his hair and put that extra product on there, and then we're going to process for 25 minutes. So now that we're back and our timer has been on for 25 minutes, we have rinsed out the bleach, and this is what it looks like. Look how even and how bright we got that in one session, you guys. I promise, if you follow my instructions, you will get a great result from root to tip. Look how bright that is. And we didn't even tone his hair yet, you guys. We're about to tone it right now. So for toner, I'm using the Koleston line from Wella. And for Princeton's favorite toners, we like to use something more on the cool side, just to cancel out any yellow we see. But if you want something from this line, I would recommend like a 12-8-9 if it really comes out yellow or orange, or a 12-01, a 12-03. Those are some really great shades to use in this line. And you could either use the pastel developer, or you can use this Color Touch developer, which I'm going to use Color Touch today. The good thing about Wella is you can intermix their developers with the color lines for that specific type. So for like toners, you can mix the different toners for different toners. For permanents and stuff, you can mix the permanents with different permanents. So yeah, I really like Wella because everything is what it is, and you're going to get the color that is on the swatch. There's no trickery, so that's why I really like Wella. It's really easy color line to get to learn. So for his toner, I meant to mention that I used a 6.9 volume. Was it a 6.9 volume? 6 point something, 6%? I don't know. It was a really low, like less than 10%. So I'm starting in the back, and I'm working really fast. We're doing it on damp hair, even though it's like mostly dry. It's really like towel dried really well. And we're starting to apply it in the back and working our way up to the front. You want to work really fast when it comes to toners, because we're not doing it at the bowl. We're just, putting it on like how we put on the bleach mainly. So work fast and go from back to front. And if you have longer hair, or let me see, if you're doing a retouch on somebody, like say you did this and then the person comes back for another bleach and tone, or you're doing it, and the roots, you bleach and tone the roots, and then when you do the toner, you want to apply the toner on the roots first, and then maybe drag it through the ends at the last like 2 to 3 minutes, and then rinse it out, because the ends are going to grab that color a lot easier. So sometimes you'll see people tone their hair and it's two-tone. That's because they applied it all at the same time instead of doing it on the roots first and then doing the ends like at the very last second, because the ends are more porous and they're more damaged, so they're going to grab on that color a lot more than they would for the roots, because the roots, are healthier, fresher hair. So just putting that out there in case you guys do the retouch, or in case you're wondering what the hell is going on when you put your toner on and it's two-toned. But because this is virgin hair, because we bleached his hair on virgin hair, I can apply it all at once. And his hair is not that long, so I can apply it all at once. I'm just trying to give y'all as much information as possible, because bleach and tones can be tricky, and everybody thinks they can just tweak it and, do it the way they want and it's going to come out nice, but that's not always the case, guys. And I'm sure you've seen so many tutorials where there have been fails, and I'm going to do a color theory video for y'all, because if I watch one more hair color tutorial where the end result wasn't what I'm looking at and clicking on the video for, I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream, because why? Why do I have to sit through you making all your mistakes? And if I want that same exact color, I gotta do all your mistakes too, and buy all these different colors just to get the end result. Like, no, like this needs to stop. So I'm gonna do a color theory video in hopes to help a lot of people out there who really just need a little assistance, so you can do something one time and get the result that you want the first time. Okay, all right, okay. Look forward to that video, because it's time. It's time. So we're gonna let the toner sit on there for at the max like 10 minutes, but not even that, I don't think, because we don't really sit his toners on that long because we just don't need to, because it's already like blonde, pale yellow. If it was really, really yellow, like if you did this and like your hair was still hella yellow, you might want to keep it on for 10 to 15 minutes. Some toners say 30 minutes, but just watch it. Watch the toners because you will see it transform, you know, you'll see the color transform. So I'm going to just let you guys see me finish this, and then I will show you. Everything. Look how smooth that looks. Everything is even and thoroughly saturated. If it's not thoroughly saturated, then you're gonna have uneven tones in your hair. Okay, I'm just putting it out there, so don't come back and be like, I did this and it didn't work. Nope, you didn't do it right. I'm just saying. So, oh, okay, we did put a timer for 10 minutes, and then yeah, look at what we got. This is the toned end result. It's very, very creamy. His hair is like soaking wet right here as well. So it's creamy, it's beige, it's warm, it's how we like it. And I will insert some more photos. He's about to go get a haircut, so I'll show you guys how it looks after his haircut and like in natural daylighting. But this is the end result. Nice, even though his hair is soaking wet right here. Okay, so here is the final results. I love it. We got him this super blonde in one try on natural dark black hair. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you got this far, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys watching my hair tutorials and vlogs and everything that I post on my channel. I love you guys so much, and please leave a comment if you have more questions or if you have more video ideas you want to see me do, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.